I'm about to share the crazy case study we recently had. We went from 17% open rate to 60 plus. We went from 4.5% of total revenue through emails to 30% plus. And we made them more than 80,000 additional revenue after another email marketing agency was inside the account. If you want to see all the different details, what we did, how we made these shifts, then make sure to stick till the end, take the gold nuggets and apply them to your account. So let's start. I'm super excited to share this case study with you because Dr. Deliverability demonstrates how we went from 70% open rate to 62% in open rate in 58 days, and we collected 80,000 US dollars in extra revenue for them. And the funny part is actually that, they already had an email marketing agency at that time. So here, as I said, I wanted to show you some proof how we went from 5.6K per month in over 80K in less than 78 days. So the 80K is more like 78 days. You will have a few different days here because we had different time frames for different goals that we achieved. So here you can see 116,000, 5,000, and then 80,000. This is like not 30 days, so obviously I'm not taking the same numbers, but still, like you can see here, 31%. That was basically after starting working with us, and that was basically 30 days before. And here you can see 4.85% to 31% in less than 45 days, 17% open rate to 62% open rate in 58 days, and generating over 80,000 in additional revenue after 70-80 days. I'm also covering why some agencies literally scam you, the easy to follow deliverability guide you need to steal, a few uncommon campaign strategies that print cash and make your subscribers fall in love with you, and also how to get an audit of your entire setup, plus a guideline on how to grow from $0. Awesome. Let's quickly cover how we actually, ended up working together with them, because that's super, super important. So we had an audit phase, and during the audit phase, I didn't even know that there was someone in the account. I was just like thinking, okay, this is just like mediocre work. Maybe, the customer, the potential customer we will end up working with, they maybe have a lot of stuff to do, and email is just like a side thing that they're doing, putting together 1 or 2 a week. But that wasn't the case. Like actually they had already a partner working for them, but their agreement was 8 emails in total a month, including flow emails a month. So like I took a look at the account, and they had like 1 welcome email, and then like 4 campaigns, and then like 1 abundant checkout email. So like super weird setup, which is in my opinion way too slow. Every day that you're not sending an email campaign, or any day you have your email flows not fully optimized, you're literally losing money. It sounds weird because you can only understand that once you have the entire setup done, because you see clearly like, oh, they literally buy from like automated stuff. So you're losing money right now if you're not having an entire optimized setup. It's pretty much like a leaking bucket that you currently have within your email setup if you're not fully optimized yet. So what we did is we prepared a 35-minute audit, including the specific steps we would take and the appropriate timeline. That's like super, super important for us. Whenever we do these audits, like we don't fluff around. Like I know that some agencies have these, super amazing looking slides and like projections and stuff like that. I rarely talk about projections because I think there's like so many different things that play into that. I'm mainly focused on the actual action steps, the actual timeline, and things we will do. And then we obviously do them. And then I give, if requested by the client, because some people have like board of directors, shareholders, and they need numbers, I will then tell them like, hey, based on the action steps, this is what I expect. But you never know. Like we had some lists that just behave super differently. So that's why it always, weird if people like give you like projections and then they, round it up to like, oh, this is the extra email revenue that you're doing 12 months from now and stuff like that. Super, super weird. So yeah, usually for us, when it comes to the timeline, it usually takes around 2 to 3 weeks for all the basic flows to be live if we're starting from scratch or we do an entire revamp. So the welcome flow, abundant checkout, browser minimum, thank you sequence, both with around like 4 to 5 emails per flow. They take around 2 to 3 weeks while we also do the entire campaign setup. So we like to be very, very fast in our execution because, as I said, like literally every day that you don't have a fully optimized backend, you're losing money. So yeah, we basically did the audit, super happy. And then after the audit, they said like, hey, we have someone on the account. I still need to talk with them. And I'm like, what? You have someone on the account? That's super weird because it's awful. And there's no real strategy. You just send like super minimal emails. It's just, yeah, totally different needed. So that was basically the before. And within the first 30 days, and within the first 30 days is also the onboarding period. It's not like 30 days after the first campaign, but like literally we onboarded them, and then 30 days later, we were around 21.7%, like literally just by adjusting, like sending more emails and adjusting the strategy, what kind of emails we send. The big thing we wanted here is that, you know, the entire account was such an horrible state. We turned over the following in just 7 to 9 working days. Like that was super important for us, because if you're at 5% and you have someone on board, that's like, it's just weird. So we went in, adjusted the entire flow setup, sent 10 to 12 campaigns per month, and had a 333% increase in less than 30 days after onboarding. As I said, we came in 7 to 9 working days, welcome flow, button checkout, browser abandonment, abandoned cart, thank you sequence, all adjusted while running 2 to 3 weekly campaigns. And then you can see this is basically the result. But that was just like level 1 and the first 30 days, because here you can see what the other agency were doing. They were just like blasting to the master list, which is essentially like everyone on the list, and like the deliverability was horrible. 17%. If you're at 17%, like all alarm bells should ring, because that's not what you want to have. So we were at around 17% and had around like 9,000 people opening our emails. And to be honest, like they did, you know, they did email revenue. That's fine. But if you see this and you're an email marketer, you know, holy shit, what could be if we actually focus on adjusting the deliverability? So here, as I said, major red flag, the other agency, and I don't really want to, you know, talk someone down, but this is just like on a strategic level, it's horrible for the client. So that's why I'm also not, you know, dropping names, but that's just something that need to be adjusted ASAP. So due to them sending to the entire list all the time, the deliverability was horrible. And it basically led to insane spam rates and low open rates, which eventually also hurt your deliverability, right? So what we did is we basically adjusted. Please make sure to watch some of my other videos where I break down the segmentation strategy we use to maximize deliverability, plus all the other deliverability things we make sure to follow. And here you can see that basically just by adjusting things, we went to 36% open rate while keeping the same amount of recipients, which, you know, you might say, what's the difference between, you know, 36 or 17 if like the same amount opens the emails? What you're doing here right now is, you know, deliverability works like a scorecard. The more good points you score, the better your deliverability will be long term, and the worse, worse things you do, the -1s, the worse your deliverability gets. So if you climb from 17 to 36%, it might not look like an increase, like on the number itself, like how many people are opening, but due to the adjustments, we basically now are kind of rebuilding our sender reputation, like our reputation as a sender itself. So if they see, oh, 36% open rate, that's fine. Like that's fine. We should probably give them some more. Like let's leave them out of the spam folder for a few cents and see what happens. So that's basically the entire thought process behind that. So what we did then is we adjusted segments to cover only engaged segment. We excluded our list clean segment, which is basically, you know, if people open your emails for like, if people receive more than 10, 15 emails and they haven't opened a single one, might be very rare that they open the next one. So we don't want to send to those people. We also don't want to send people to that mark your email as spam, dropped, bounced, whatever. So that's basically the list clean segments. Then what we did is we moved to a dedicated sending domain. At the time it wasn't necessary. Nowadays you need to, and I have tutorials how to do that because of the Google and Yahoo requirements, but that's basically what we did there. And then what we did, we slowly, and that's very, very important, we slowly opened things up, leading our way to an entire list send. Because we still want to have the entire list send at some point to like basically get all the leads that are currently getting into the spam folder. We want to have them in our engaged segments. So that's basically what we did. We started off here. As I said, that was kind of the last email campaign that we sent to engage to 120 days before our ramp up period. So that's what we did, 37% open rate. And then you see May 20th, July 16th, which is around like almost, like 45, 50 days. We were at 60.8% open rate with 25,000 recipients opening. And it's the same list, like nothing crazy happened during that time. It was just simply adjusting the entire deliverability protocol. And we literally tripled in recipients opening And we also, like you can see here, clearly the stats are like crazy. So we went from 80 clicks to 450, and we went from 8 recipients buying to 50. Of course, you know, these are a few different, this is like a workout email and this is a Prime Day email. Of course they have different results, but this is crazy in my opinion, just like the open rate itself. And we literally went like, this is the catch-all segment that we used, 25,000, and this was the catch-all from the prior agency, 9,000. So literally by adjusting the deliverability protocol, you can 3x email results like that, like clockwork, easy. So that's crazy, right? But our campaign strategy itself, it was nothing crazy. Since we had a lot of sales during that period, we basically covered them with like social proof campaigns. We had blog articles. The brand itself was around like nursing moms. So we, you know, threw in some value posts as well, like some value emails. Then we had a few like new arrivals, back in stock campaigns, and then of course sales email with personal last calls from the founder. So since it was the first like send all, catch all segment, what we did, we also used the plain text email here to maximize our deliverability there as well. So that's basically the entire breakdown on what we did on email and flow level. And that was kind of the case, like here was the final results in July to August. Basically went to 32.66% in email revenue, 35,000 in comparison to what happened before with like 5,600. So that's crazy in my opinion. And yeah, that's basically the rundown. So if you want to basically achieve the same, or you just want to get an audit and get the same results like these people, you know, for example, Anna from Juicy, Con from Aegis, Celine from Kamal Baker, Brandon from Fancy, Akshay from Kimbara Skincare, Anna from Vivioka, or Anastasia from MDNT 45, then make sure to schedule a call with me. There's a link in the description that you can click on, gets into my scheduler. We have a super casual conversation. And then, as I said, I will provide you with a free audit, pretty much the same thing that we did here before starting with this brand and before turning the entire account around. We do the same for you for literally zero cost. So if that's interesting for you, then make sure to schedule a call, super chill conversation, and then I see you in the next video. Thank you. Take care.